Okay, here we are for round two. Maybe our opponent's deck will be a little bit less weird, but you never really know. Hey, it's Magic Online on on a weekend night. All right, so let's go ahead and decide to play first. I think this hand's perfectly keepable. A little annoying that we may not be able to play our Voracious Worm, but whatever. You know, going Fire Cat into Battle Sliver, and if we ever do draw another Sliver or two, it's going to be quite good. I guess it opens us up to like a Flames of the Firebrand, but our last opponent had one. I don't know how many there really are in the draft, so can't really be too concerned about something like that. If he has a slow start on the draw, we can seriously punish him for keeping, a slow hand with 8 power on play on turn 4. And, our live draws are pretty good. We basically just don't want to draw any green cards until we draw a forest. But if you guys remember correctly, I think we are playing 18 land, 10 mountains, 8 forests. So, I mean, with 8 forests out of 33, our chances of hitting one the next 3 or 4 turns are pretty good. Um, all right, and we're off. Let's go ahead and just play this and pass. And we'll see what our opponent has for us here. I'm assuming some kind of white or black deck, perhaps? Alright, Mutavault, okay. Alright, well there's the Predatory Sliver. So that would be good at some point. Hopefully we can draw the land for it. Is he just going to attack us with Mutavault here? I mean, I'm not like super unhappy about that. It seems fine. Go to 18, but it costs him his whole turn. And maybe we can draw some green. Okay, cool. So we're still just going to play the Fire Cat here. Although now that I think about it, I should have played Forest there in case we could, in case we drew Forest next turn, so we could play two things. So that was probably a mistake, but that's okay. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, we won't get too badly punished for that decision. Looks like he actually might also be a sort of a blue controlling deck, sort of like what our first round opponent was trying to do. Although he's still had some strange ones in there, like Phantom Warrior. I don't know. Mutavault seems a little out of place in this deck as well. We'll see. We'll see what he has in store for us here. Hmm. It's possible that our opponent tried to draft the mono blue deck that a lot of people have been talking about. Claustrophobia. Okay, kind of expected that. It's not a huge deal. Not that I'm happy that he's wasting, some of his removal spells on like the Rithgan and Fire Cats of the world because we have better creatures. And we're gonna play a Fire Cat. Say that as we play the Fire Cat, but that's because we do want to use this Briar Pack Alpha as a combat trick if possible. Um, Also, the Battle Sliver is like, pretty good here too. Let's just see what we draw. Alright, let's go ahead and attack. Whatever we do here is almost certainly getting countered, and our opponent's not actually doing anything. So I think I'm just going to play a Voracious Worm, because when it probably gets cancelled or whatever, I don't care. Oh, well, he just doesn't even have that. But ordinarily, I'd really want to start heading in on the Sliver direction here with a Predatory Sliver, but the chances of him having a counterspell I thought were somewhat high. You see it discarding? I guess so. I wonder if you see a black card getting discarded. We did. Okay. So he did not have a counterspell last turn. Let's go ahead and hit for 6. I think what we want to do is put him dead on board with this Battle Sliver. He did not have a counterspell last turn, which is very relevant. And if he doesn't have anything good here, I think we just win this game. Oh, there's the swamp. All right, so we're getting Doombladed. What are we doing here? Hmm. Interestingly, if we draw a land, Siphon Sliver. Okay, that's pretty good. The guy has lifelink. We also give Mutavault lifelink, which is not an irrelevant consideration. Um, Now, we could just play Predatory Sliver, because that will force him to block either the Fire Cat or a Sliver. Um, let's see. I would put him to 2, but then he would gain 2 from his Siphon Sliver. The other option is using Briarpack Alpha, but I think I'd prefer not to use Briarpack Alpha if I can avoid it, simply because it's like the only combat trick we have. Although it would keep Breathkin Firecat alive, which could be relevant, given that it would then... Well, actually, I take it back. Ordinarily, I wouldn't want to use Briarpack Alpha in this sort of spot, but the reason why I do want to use it here is that our opponent is so far on the back foot and so far behind that if we attack with everything, his best block is probably Wrathkin Firecat. If we then Alpha the cat... Actually, wait, we don't need... Yes. If we then Alpha the cat, then it'll live, the Alpha will live, and he'll take 7. He'll go to 5 because he gains 2 off of Siphon Sliver, and then he'll have 4 creatures in play that can kill him. So I think I like doing that the best. We'll see what he does. Yeah, not a huge surprise. So we'll keep this guy alive. He doesn't even have, a mana available, so this way he takes 1,000,000, and we still have like a bunch of lethal creatures in play. So even though it's kind of a waste of Briarpack Alpha from a certain perspective, we still have Pitchburn Devils and Shivan Dragon as follow-ups, and he's going to have to find a way to not die from 5 here. It's probably going to have to involve jumping with Mutavault and who knows what else. So I feel pretty good about this. We can attack, even if he can deal with multiple things, he's still going to have to use a bunch of mana to do that, which will enable us to play either Pitchburn or Shivan, either of which will likely find a way to end the game here. Okay, didn't even need to make that decision. So we saw very little. We saw some lands and some concessions. So I think we're just going to submit it. I would consider putting in a plummet over maybe like the Voracious Worm, but I don't think we've seen enough out of his deck. I guess we can assume he probably has some flyers, but I don't know. It seems like his deck's a little slow, so for now I'm going to keep it as we currently have it, and if we see some flyers, we'll put in some plummets.